Hi besties, welcome back to Planet AP. If you're new here, it's crazy out here, but you're gonna love it. Today I'm gonna talk about something which is a propaganda I am never ever falling for ever again, which is that money is hard to make. And I will start off by telling you something that I maybe low-key, well, actually, I'm not even ashamed to admit this, but for a very long time, when I entered the manifestation community and all that, I thought it was cap. And specifically, I thought the whole thing about you can manifest money was cap, okay? Because I was like, well, if you can manifest money or whatever, then why are so many people broke, right? Poverty shouldn't exist if you can manifest money. It's it's one of those things that just felt like too good to be true. What do you mean type shit, right? I don't think so, right? And then I would go approach it with low-key that narrative running in my background, and then I would be like, so then why am I not able to manifest money? Well, because you weren't believing, babe, first of all. But second of all, let's actually talk about this, right? Because I want to tell you one more thing. One more thing was that I grew up in a religious house, right? Culturally, I saw a lot of people always complaining about being broke, not having enough money, struggling, working really hard. And I was like, wait, then if money is easy to make, then obviously, well, manifestation has nothing to do with God, because all of these people say that God has made this world to be a place of suffering, a place where you're not supposed to get things easy. Oh, rest is when you die and go to heaven. You're not meant to rest here. And I was like, well, okay, well, so if you're a religious person or whatever, if you follow God and stuff, then that means that you basically subscribe to a life of having a really hard time making money, period, right? And I was so off base on both of those things. So I want to tell you guys, how do you break the broke code today? Because we don't subscribe to hustle culture here. But you know who did? I did. Literally, I used to work 15, 16 hours a day. Are you hearing me? 15, I know I'm so close to but 15, 16 hours a day? Being this pretty, I had no business. But because I was like, if I want to make it in the coaching industry or whatever, if I want to run a business, then I have to work so hard and I have to outwork everybody and do this and do that. And it's like a whole story and a half. And I will tell you that, but I will tell you one more thing, is that the reason why I was working so hard had nothing to do with making money at all. And that is one thing that I want you to know. This is like a pre-rec kind of video for the webinar that I have on Sunday, which is June 1st, 12 p.m. Eastern time. If you haven't registered already, go downstairs, go down to the description below and register for it. But this is I'm laying some groundwork for it so that you get the most out of that webinar, okay? So let's get to this, right? Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and bad things that may be. Okay, so we're gonna start off with, you guys, the curse is low-key broken. Did we exit? Nope. No, I really thought we quantum leaped to a different timeline. I really thought. Or maybe it's just my expertion effect. But, come on, God. Thought we had a deal, bro. Thought we said Anna's winning streak started. I'm too pretty to be doing. I don't know why, but I always feel like, Anna, you didn't start recording. Why my intrusive thoughts be intruding like that? Okay, so let's start, right? Let's begin. Oh my God, that was a workout. Okay, let's talk about who's on my door. Guys, I'm in the middle of a video and my sister just came over. She's like, I'm chilling here. I don't even have a sister. We're talking about, first of all, the whole notion of working really hard, of earning your worth. Because here's the thing, hard work is, what were we told? When we were kids, we were told hard work equals what? Success, right? The blueprint for hard work that we all learned in school was that if you want to be successful, you have to work really, really hard. And we saw the adults in our lives, we saw our parents, we saw like everyone, they would work tirelessly, they would always be anxious, they would always be stressed about money, having money problems, like everything was about like how hard money is to make, right? We were conditioned to think about money as like a scarce resource, like there's never enough of it, right? That's one thing. So one of the aspects is that we were conditioned with what? Not enoughness. But here's the other part of it that makes it even worse, okay? Which is that we feel like we have to prove our worthiness to earn money. That in order to make money, we have to work hard so that we can prove that we're good enough to make that money. That we can prove that we deserve that money that we earn. We deserve, like there is this like, you know, it's not even about the money. It's not about the success. What is it? It's a childhood wound. So there's a part of you, this inner child, that feels like it is not good enough. And this little inner child feels like if I just work hard enough, if I just achieve enough, if I just get some, you know, like this type of fame, this type of success, this type of this type of that, then I will feel whole, then I will feel complete, then I will feel like I've made it, and then maybe I deserve money, maybe I deserve love, maybe I deserve respect, whatever it is, right? So all this time we think that, you know, like it's about success and it's about this, but it's really about this little kid in you, this little kid that felt like it wasn't good enough, this little kid that felt like I have to, you know, like maybe when you were a kid, because look, when we're kids, we all have 5 developmental needs, okay? These are like emotional needs that we have. Think about it this way, and I love giving this analogy because of how easy it is to understand, but let's say, you know, I give you a plant, okay? So I give you this like little, you know, beautiful little, you know, AP as in Anna plant, oh my God, Anna, did I spell that right? I think so. Anna plant, right? And you know, and I gift this plant to you. And I tell you, hey, all I need you to do, like I'm gonna be out of town for like a month or something. Can you just take care of my plant for me? And you're like, for sure, this and that. And I'm like, okay, look, it's an outdoor plant, so it has 2 needs, okay? And you're like, bet, Anna, what are the 2 needs? So you go like, bet, Anna, what are the 2 needs? I'm like, listen, it needs sunlight. I don't even think you can see the yellow. But I'm like, it needs sunlight. And numero 2, it needs, and I say it needs water, okay? So just give it these 2 things and it should be good. Like that's all you have to do. All you have to do is give my little plant some sunlight and some water and that's it, right? You're like, bet, dude, like don't worry about it. And I got you. I can take care of your plant. And I'm like, period. So I'm chilling. I'm on vacation and I spend my little month there and, you know, I come back to find my plant is not looking like this anymore. It looks like this. It died. And I'm like, hey, what happened to my plant? And you go like, Anna, I don't know. I'm like, did, you know, how were you not taking care of my plant? And you're like, no, wallahi, I was. And I was like, okay, how did you take care? So you said, Anna, as soon as you left your plant, I went to the store and I bought the most expensive fertilizer money could buy. And I'm like, okay. And you're like, I gave it the most expensive fertilizer. And then I bought the most expensive pot money could buy. And I'm like, okay, but did you give it water and sunlight? You're like, oh, well, no, but I gave it the, you know, pot and the fertilizer. And I'm like, well, you gave it the ingredients it needed to thrive. You did not give it what it needed to survive. And that's what happens with most of us. When we are kids, a lot of times, like, you know, our parents, they give us a lot of things that are more of like our secondary, tertiary needs or whatever, right? But the primary needs that we have are our 5 developmental, 5 emotional needs every single child has. And when those needs aren't met for whatever reason, and here's one of the biggest things I want you to understand before, is that these needs are not logical. That you cannot be looking... You want to play, sir? You cannot be looking at your life from like an adult's perspective, right? And looking at your inner child and going like, it wasn't that deep. But like, I guess my parents were divorced or whatever, but it wasn't that deep. I mean, no, none of them were around or whatever, but like, I'm so over it. Like, it's not about what you as an adult think. And the more you because these feelings, like, think about it this way, right? Think about it like this, okay? Let's say this is adult you, okay? Now, inside adult you, there's this, baby you that's like trapped inside you. And there's also but this is like our concern right now today, okay? This is the topic. This is like a baby you that's trapped inside. So this is like includes, what we call our shadows. And these are basically like parts of yourself that were rejected maybe, that didn't feel like they were good enough, that didn't feel like they were safe to come out and play. Because when we come to earth, think about it this way, okay? I got a perfect analogy for you. Think about this. Let's say you're born like this, okay? You're born whole, okay? And then throughout, as you start growing and because you grow in collaboration with the environment, all right? So the feedback you receive from your parents, they say this good, this bad, whatever they say influences this wholeness of yours, right? So then it goes like, okay, hide this part. Okay, don't be like this. Okay, don't do this. Okay, don't like this. This is not this. This. And then from this whole who you are, what ends up happening is only this much is left. And all of this becomes like rejected. So you just become this much of you. And all of the purpose of the spiritual journey, the purpose of what we say when I was talking about you're raised with goats and you're babaing your whole life and you just forgot that you were a lion, right? What is that purpose, right? It's that you forgot, this part makes you feel like I'm just a little goat, right? But you're actually a whole lion. And these are the parts that you forgot about yourself. So we're not like this healing, this, that. It's none of this is about you becoming someone else. Because I remember I was talking to this friend of mine, and they were like, oh, but Anna, I don't want to change who I am. And I'm like, baby, this is not about changing who you are. It's actually about remembering who you are, because you were born whole. You were born an a-hole. I'm joking. So, coming back to how this relates to success and money, Anna, now this is what it is that a lot of times in this rejectedness, right? Because this is, yes, parts that are rejected, and also, let me hear that, also, you are gay. Also, yes, correct. It also includes conditioning and rules of life, okay? Because as a kid, you weren't imprinted yet by how the world should be like. Now, one of the things that I always tell you guys is your reality is as unique to you as your fingerprint, which means that the laws of your life are meant to apply to you and you only. But here's what happens. Why do so many people experience the same type of laws? Is because they are giving into the same pendulum of energy. They're giving into the same, conditioning, the belief, the structure, there are these laws that the society is built on, whatever. But if you accept the law, then the law becomes true for you. But if you don't accept the law, then the law does not have to be true for you. So when people accept the law that hard work equals success, then that means that they will never get successful unless they unlearn this, if they're not working that hard. That in order for them to have any type of success, they will always have to work really, really hard, unless they unlearn that shit. Does that make sense so far? Do you copy? Okay, so let's see where we're going with this. We did it, boys. We freaking did it. Okay, so this is the part of today's video where I want you to, as I tell you about what I've written over here in my beautiful handwriting, think about where in your life you might have heard something like this, okay? Or your own version of it. But these are 4 of the biggest things that I heard in the society growing up, I heard from people around me growing up. I was basically conditioned to believe this to be true. And I've seen so many of my own clients and people in my communities and so on and so forth share similar versions of these with me. A is that why is it so hard to be rich? Why is it so hard to make money? Or this is a big one. If it's easy, it's illegal. That was a huge thing that I heard growing up, was like, anyone who was mad rich or was like, super abundant, blah, blah, it would always be like, oh, that's because they do illegal stuff. Like, that's because they're not honest. That honest people do not, like, it's okay. Which is very right around the corner with, it's hard to make an honest living. I know you're tweaking as you're listening to me because you're like, shit, I heard that one before. Like, come on, think about it. Like, how many of us have heard this shit? Like, it's hard to make an honest living. That somehow being broke, being dirt poor, being like always not having enough money means that you're some sort of like holy. Imagine there's like a halo on top of my head, right? Like, and wings behind me, like, oh my God, I'm so holy. Oh my God, dude. Never mind. Very, very, very sidetracking. Anyway, so that's what it was. I was like, like imagine like this gunk in your field. Why am I like turning around, like making my way? Oh my God, do you guys remember? I couldn't remember this verse from in one of the videos. It was like, making my way downtown, walking fast, faces passing, I'm home. And I just kept like, oh my God. Anyways, and I need you to. Okay, so it was like, if it's easy, it's illegal. It's hard to make an honest living. It's not spiritual to be rich. It's greedy to desire money. God wants you to work hard. Now here's so misunderstood. Yes, God wants you to work hard, but no, it's not for money, because what happens with most people is they take this to mean that God wants you to work hard to earn money. No, sir, that is incorrect. You know what God does want you to work hard to do? It's to remember Him, to be a good person, to overcome your ego, to live from God consciousness, to have the discipline to surrender. That's the hard work that's required in your life, because on and over again, whether it's in the Quran, whether it's in the Bible, whether it's here, it's there, Allah always says what? That spend from what I've given to you. I have given to you everything you've wanted. Give from what I've given to you. Always in the past tense. Always in the past tense. That they give from what's been given to them. See, here's the thing about giving. You will only give money, right, if you have the certainty that there's more money coming your way, right? So God already told you that you are rich. But just like gravity is a law of life, cut it. If I drop the marker, it's gonna fall to the ground. So is what? So is surrender. So when you go against a law of life, you do what? You suffer. If I were to jump from the third floor, what would happen? I would die, or at least broke a bunch of bones, right? Why? Because I'm going against a law of life. So when people go like, you have to work really, really hard, and they make money the only goal in life, they actually forget all about God. Because how can you know God? How can you be conscious of God and worry about money? It's not possible. But the reason we find it hard to have faith and be conscious of God is because we're so distorted in our perception of A, God, and B, ourselves, and life itself. And we have a lot of conditioning in our field that keeps us from that. But that's a whole other conversation. It's not really, but you get the point, right? So the reason why so many people, myself included, I used to be one of those people, work really hard, but they don't make that, like their bank account does not show it. It doesn't prove it. It doesn't look like they're, like they work that hard. It doesn't look like, their effort is not equal to the output that they get, because they're putting in too much input. Like you're giving like so much input, but like your output is like this. Because God said, bro, like, do a little bit of input, go live your life. period, you know, like, and it's like, you're like, no, 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 sir, I will give extra input. Nobody said you're gonna get a shining star for stressing about your business or money. Because like God wants you to worship him. So when you begin to, like, when you're like, you know, like your mind and your heart, right? Like this is you, your heart and your mind are occupied with a dollar bill all the time, then what's happening? You've made it your God. You've made money your God. Go home. Game over. I'm kidding. No, obviously not. But our whole purpose is, the reason I'm sharing this with you is as a prereq to the webinar that we have is because of this, right? Dude, I swear to you, I spent so much time and money and resources that I literally did not have. Like I went into debt because of this, but like trying to learn from marketing strategies and business gurus and this and that who were like, just use my sales funnel to like get clients. Or some homeboy would be like, you know, like just use copy paste my sales script, or like copy paste these messages in your DMs. And you probably know this because these people be texting everybody, right? And they were like, just do this and do that and do this and you're gonna get so many clients, you're this, you're that. And none of that felt authentic to me. It felt like there was so much to do and like such little output, right? And I was like, I don't want to like manipulate people into buying from me or whatever. Like I'm here to serve, and it felt so inauthentic to serve that way. It didn't feel like service. It felt like, you know, like manipulation. And my soul came here to lead. I came here to like these people be telling me like, don't be making a lot of like, you know, one of these people told me that like you shouldn't be posting so much on YouTube. Like don't give people so much free content because like, you know, like you're being like, by doing that, like no one's gonna buy from you. And I'm like I at the time like went like, okay, you must be right because you have like 5 you know, whatever thousand followers. Like that was the biggest like cap, bro, because it just didn't feel right to me. And that's the thing, like your business is meant to like, you know, like you're meant to lead with your heart and soul. But these dudes they would be like, business is not about heart, business is not personal, you have to be a money-making machine. And my soul was like, what are you doing here? But I was like, you know, I don't know. I mean, like, look at his results. But like his whole business model was selling scam to people, right? Like just like that, like $50,000 I spent, like shit. And then and I had like a team of 9 people working for me, like doing every strategy under the sun. And I got no results because God wanted to teach me what I'm here to teach you, was that there is a better way to make business. There's a better way to run a business that does not require selling your soul, that does not require going against your true nature, that does not require self-abandonment, that does not require you to feel like crap all the time, to live in like a survival mode. There's a way to lead in business where you make God your CEO, literally, and you burn all logic and you go like, I'm here to lead from heart and soul. I'm here to lead from raw truth, from undeniable energy. And that way is magnetic. It is fun. It is like, you know, like you feel alive and it doesn't even feel like work. Like this to me feels like play every time I'm in front of a camera. If I don't feel it, I don't even force myself. Like I have days when if I'm like, I have an idea for a video and I'll come in and I literally talk 20 minutes in the video and I'm like, nope, I don't feel it. Never mind. I'll just go do something else. Okay, so what? Like I don't force myself to do nothing. And I have made like thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in the past almost 4 months now that I didn't make, like, you know, in 4 years of like applying those business strategies. And I truly believe that, like, you know, bringing God back in business is the way to lead, is the way to grow, is the way to go forward, is the way to make your business feel so pleasurable. Like even if you don't have a business idea yet, whether you own a business, you don't own a business, you can scale without working harder. You can make more money without working harder, without burning out. You can quit your job and start a business and launch effectively and grow overnight. All of that is possible if you work with the laws of nature that God has told us. So that's why I really would love to see you in Breaking the Bro Code on Friday. No, on Sunday, June 1st, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, this is not UK time. This is whatever, like, convert your time zone, be there, because that's what it's about. It's about unlearning all of this. I will, like, because here's the thing. Wealth isn't about strategy. I will not, like, nothing that I do in the realm of, like, build, like, helping you build your business or like grow your income or whatever will ever be me telling you that here, copy paste my sales funnel, because you shouldn't. You should never copy paste my anything. Not because, like, plagiarism or whatever, but because God gave you your gift, the gift of your voice, the gift of your purpose, the gift of what makes you you. I can never be you, just like you can never be me, and that is such a great thing. Like, there's more than enough in this world for all of us to keep winning. There's a gift that you have. There are people that only you're meant to serve in the world that I could never dream of serving because I wasn't created to serve them, but you were. So this is about, like, remembering that. It's about, like, learning the energetics of wealth, the energetics of leading with business, how you lead from soul, how you move with God, how of all of that. So you embody it, you integrate it, and then you can literally mint money in your sleep, dude, because your money will be a byproduct of your excitement, your love, your service in the world as who you are. And you deserve that. You deserve to live life as who you are and get paid to exist. And in between all of that, like, what comes under all of that is what? Is training our nervous system, washing off the old frequency. It's timeline jumping. It's literally healing your own energy blocks. It is shifting your self-concept. It is learning to channel it is learning to channel the energy of, like, God. Channel inspiration from God through you, through the way you speak, through the way you type, through the things that you put out. So when we learn all of those things, that's a way to lead in business that makes you feel fly like a G6, that makes you unlearn, like, and leave behind all these narratives that told you that you gotta work hard, you gotta hustle, you gotta, like, burn yourself out, because no, babe, you don't. You just gotta commit to being you every single day. So yeah, I'd love to see you there. Mwah. I love you. Bye.